I think it will be misused, and so ab initio we ought to put all the I would say all the stipulations that will make it impossible for somebody to misuse. Yeah, as for whether it will be misused, I can tell you for free that I am sure
It will be.
it will be. Yes, somehow our executives find it difficult to apply restraint when they are given enormous powers. And because they find it difficult to apply restraint, we we don't want to have that situation going forward where you now put in the seeds of destabilizing the nation. Now, we know if we check the past and how governors acted in the past, there are some governors that you will have known that if they had the police in the
I'm sure opposition will not have a say in that.
there are no opposition will have a say in their state. Nobody will come in there, this and that, and they will justify it. You understand? Because people justify anything, and I will say that human behavior, and haven't known how our people behave or act when they don't have any restraint. You will be very, very careful in giving those kind of powers to people. So all the people who are bringing proposals to us, we have also tried very much to ensure that we look at all the proposals and then ask critical questions, not just from them. Also, we will have to ask from former leaders of the police and the other military and the other parliamentary agencies, so that we will be sure that if you're bringing in state police for security at the local level, it will also be security at the local level, not to go beyond their bounds. And also, which is most critical for us, to be able to have a recourse, assuming it is misused. Because if you're a human being with your rights, every Nigerian has rights. If you go to section 33 of the Constitution, 33 to 39, all our rights are enshrined inside there. If somebody decides deliberately to do, what is your recourse? Because if you now have state police, your recourse will be to state courts. Would the state courts have the authority and the independence and the fearlessness, let's just put it that way, to now say no to state government? And then, if you go beyond that, what will I would say, the federal, the appellate courts and the Supreme Courts say about such a thing? If the Supreme Court or the appellate court takes a decision, who implements it? Will it now be somebody that will be superior to the state high court?
Really,
so you now say,
a whole lot to be done, not just
no, it's not just to put it by my state police. No, there are just so many other things that will be done. Who will take responsibility for particular types of crimes? Who will take responsibility for? Will you be able to hand over a crime that is committed within a state, but is now seen as a crime that is beyond that state? So I think that we really have a lot of. But I'm not pessimistic. I'm optimistic that if we sit down and do proper thinking, we can design something that will be
Suitable.
suitable for us. Well, the point really is what is you come in. It comes back to the same question that we just asked. You are elected under a presidential system. You can only amend the constitution. Can you amend the constitution to say that this constitution now is a parliamentary constitution? So it comes right back to the same thing, that you will have to dissolve this whole thing and start all over again. So bills. If I send a private member's bill or government bill, I'm assuming that's a private member's bill from one of the members.
Yeah.
Well, the first reading is, I would say, automatic. Second reading is, okay, we approve, then it can go to public hearing and other processes. You understand? So that it has passed second reading really doesn't cut the eyes here for us, because it hasn't. And of course, because we're on a bicameral legislature, it means that whatever they do in the House and finish, even if they pass it there, it will still have to come to the Senate for ratification. I think in the parliamentary system of the UK, the equivalent of the Senate is the House of Lords.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you going to do with regard to us? Because there are some other parliamentary systems that don't have a House of Lords. You understand? So I would just think that, and this is my sincere opinion, our problem is not the system, either presidential or parliamentary. Our problem is those of us who are operators of the system, of whatever system we do. We are the people who see what is supposed to be done and refuse to do it. And I will just give you one simple example so that it's very clear to Nigerians. Take local governments. The law is simple. It says the funds that are coming to the local governments should come to the state, and then there should be the creation of something called a joint account. Now, that joint account is supposed to be for the state to bring in 10% of their own internal generated revenue and add to the funds that are coming from the federal revenue. Now, then when they now combine the two, it now goes to the local government. In other words, the funds from the local governments will be enhanced by the funds that come from the state. But what do you have today? Funds come from the federal government, comes into the states. The states now decide what to do. They're actually not supposed to touch it. They're supposed to add to it, but yet today they decide they can use it anyhow. Give the Senate what do you call it now? The whatever they like to the local governments. So what do you have? It is the operators of the system. It's not the system itself. Now we run a presidential and everybody says, oh, it's very, very costly, this and that. It's not true. Look, it's not supposed to be. It is when you decide. We're not supposed to, within the system, give yourself all the specs that are all over the presidential system. No. It is the duty of the person in charge to determine how lean his government will be. So, if somebody decides that, he will live big, he will be destined, he will have a 100-car convoy, he can also decide that he can have a 2-car convoy. You understand?
Yes.
depending on the mode of the government. So you ask yourself, is it the system or is it the person? My belief is that there's no system that our people will not corrupt. The parliamentary system was here. It was overthrown by the military, if you remember, in 1966. On what basis? Same thing, corruption, this and it's the same parliamentary system, which means that those who are also in the parliamentary system, that everybody is now looking at as if it's panacea. Also, utilize the system.
All right, distinguished. Finally, before we go, 1 billion has been, allotted for this process of the constitution amendment, and Nigerians will want to know how different would this one be? Will it actually answer the question of restructuring?
Well, I'm not in a position to determine that. I think you may have to go to the chairman of the committee, because the chairman of the committee who allocates and does the briefing and how it's going to be spent. You have to spend money going around. You have to spend money doing all the meetings, all the committees, all that, and they talk. And then, of course, you have to go to all the states. 23 states must pass it in order for it to pass. All right? But the whole 36 states must be consulted and so forth. So, I think that there will be value for the money this time. What I can promise is that I'm a member, and I will put my foot forward, and let's get something that Nigerians will, because what Nigerians want is actually good governance. They don't care whether you are running a system of this or that. So if you provide good governance for them, I do not think that people will remember where you. It is because of this difficult system. Now, let me just say that we're running now, that's making everybody feel that, but we must confront that fact.